Okay, and the last module 5 will be on transactions, which is then a bit more advanced because we now need to take into account the implementation of a database. So a database or a database system, database management system, often must serve more than one user. And it's actually, I mean, I cannot think of a database system that only serves one single user. If you come up with one application, please let me know. So it's almost useless to have a database system that only works if there's only one user working on this database. So you will have concurrency. You will have a system, for example, a database system. I could mean a web server application. So you develop a Python code that runs on a web server which has this IP address, and this Python code manages the database. For example, it processes user requests, and here I have shown two code snippets in Python that could actually implement such user requests. So you have here user one, which formulates a query. So this is this SQL language that you see here, and you will learn it also during this course. You will learn how to use this SQL language within Python. So you will actually learn at least two new languages in this course. You will learn SQL, you will learn Python, and actually, strictly speaking, you will also learn a third language, relational algebra. So this course is essentially teaching you a lot of languages. And yeah, so you use here this SQL query uh, to implement or to set up a request. And this request can be implemented in a lower level, for example, by IP sockets, so by some lower level technology, which is not really relevant here. But at any time, and this can be arbitrary, can be exactly at the same time another user also accesses this web server that manages the database. So what happens if they access the same element of the same table in the same time? And one of them writes or changes, modifies this entry. So let's say one user one, changes the information for the cow Zenzi. And the other user also changes this information for the cow Zenzi. And what happens if they modify this tuple not at once but step by step? So user one starts to rewrite this tuple while user two is still working on it. And this results in what is called conflicts, and we want to, of course, minimize these conflicts. And one way to minimize conflicts is using so-called transactions. So this transactions is a mechanism to make sure that once a user starts to write a tuple, it's blocked for any other user. So you cannot these users cannot override each other's requests to some extent. And you will learn how to implement simple form of transactions also in module 5.